seizoen 1 kwamen we natuurlijk eigenlijk weer terug bij hoe Star Trek begonnen is. De standalone episodes. We kregen iets meer een kijkje in de karakters die we allemaal zo goed kennen. Volgens mij zitten hier hele grote fans in de zaal, hè? Mag ik even handjes omhoog zien? Wie is een heel groot fan? En sommige mensen zijn een beetje fan. Dat is oké. Dat is ook prima. Ik heb net al in Comic-Con zelf de experience mogen meemaken. Zijn mensen daar al geweest? De Sky Showtime Experience?
Ja. Ja.
Vet. Wat vonden we daarvan?
Heel mooi.
Het is goed hè, om die kostuums dan een keertje in real life te zien. Ja, ja. Ik zie een aantal al de kostuums dragen natuurlijk. Dat is nou ja, bijna de real deal. Maar om ze dan even in het echt te zien, is toch net anders. We gaan straks, voordat we mogen kijken naar het tweede seizoen, gaan we even kletsen met twee hele leuke mensen. Die zijn, as we speak, on their way. Zijn er nog andere dingen waar jullie me over kunnen vertellen die er gebeurd zijn op Comic-Con? Ja, ik hoor ja. Ja, schreeuw maar. Ja. Danny Trejo was daar. Jawel.
Is het ook zo dat ik had de Nikes die hij aan had in de film Fanboys. En die gaat over Star Trek en Star Wars fans. De Nikes die hij aan had in die film had ik bij me en die heeft hij gezien.
Wat vet. Wat vet. Kijk, maar dat zijn de weetjes, weet je wel. Die steek je nu in je zak. Die neem je mee. Dan ben je straks weer op een verjaardag en dan denk je... Dankjewel. Dat is brainpower. Dat is een jeugdsentiment, man. Dat is echt vet.
Hebt u nog nooit eerder gehoord?
We are just patiently waiting. Ja. Nou, ik vind het helemaal goed. Heeft er nog iemand anders Star Trek trivia die ze even naar voren willen schreeuwen, nu we toch bezig zijn? Hiervoor.
Star Trek Fanclub, de Flying Dutch, bestaat volgend jaar 40 jaar.
40 jaar mag ik daar een applaus voor. En nu dat we dat hebben gezegd, kan je ze misschien wel volgend jaar, als je heel lief naar ze kijkt, uitnodigen voor die anniversary. Want ik wil een heel groot applaus en ik ga vanaf nu door naar Engels. Give it up for Anson Mouth en Rebecca Romein. Hi, you guys. Oh, look at him going. Look at him. Yeah, Rebecca's not running in those heels. Welcome, Anson. I mean, if you look at this crowd, we have a lot of big fans. I already heard the fan club in the Netherlands. Next year is their 40-year anniversary. How cool is that?
That as well. Yeah.
That's so cool. So they're in the front right there. They're very
Flying
proud.
Dutch.
The Flying Dutch.
Flying Dutch.
Big applause. Now, of course, we've already, you can see it right here. Star Trek is a huge phenomenon. Why do you think that is?
Hope.
Optimism.
Yeah.
It looks forward to a futuristic utopian world where we're not scared. We're open of the unknown and curious about it and wish to explore it and want to share that with younger generations. And it's not scary. It's open.
No zombies.
No zombies. We don't want to fight the monster. We want to embrace
So
and get to
tired
know more
of
about the
zombies.
monster.
I think it's also just exploration for exploration's sake, right? Which is something that's very much a human... I don't know, there's something in us that wants to turn around and walk outside the campfire light to see what's in the dark woods beyond. And that's, I don't know, it's in our makeup. It's in our very soul as a species. And I think that Star Trek plays right into that.
Now, of course, there are a lot of fans right here, but also a few newbies to the Star Trek experience. look right here in front. There's no shame. This is a welcoming environment. It's all
Take
good.
them out right now.
It was actually New Worlds that got me into Star Trek.
There's no Yoda.
You're the alien.
No Force, no Yoda. Different franchise. To those people who are new to the, to this world, what would you say makes this different than all the other franchises that we got to see at Comic-Con?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say welcome to the fan base. I would say welcome to the culture.
Yes, it's more than a community, it's really a culture.
Yeah, it is.
Everybody here?
Yeah, get ready for a big, deep rabbit hole, my friend. Just go to Memory Alpha on...
But this series, we like to think, is the best series for the Star Trek uninitiated.
Yes.
Because of the standalone episodic nature, which also is like the original series was. You don't have to have too much background information, except for that we are sort of the prequel of the Enterprise before Captain Kirk's Enterprise. We were the crew that existed for 10 years before them. So that's all you need to know.
That's great.
Speaking just to you now, gentlemen.
I'm honored.
Is there, we already got to experience one season, now season 2 is on Sky Showtime. Is there any piece of Star Trek trivia that you can share with us now that you guys have been in these roles for quite a while?
So most of you, I'm sure, know that there were 2 pilots for the original series, right? You know this? That the original pilot, The Cage, was with Jeffrey Hunter playing Captain Pike. That did not get picked up. And Gene Roddenberry, as determined as ever, retained ownership of the pilot or bought it back, I'm not sure which. And then later on, got greenlit to do another pilot, same idea, when Jeffrey Hunter was not available, so they brought in William Shatner to play Captain Kirk, and the network said to Roddenberry, based on their notes on the first pilot, they said, okay, you got 2 choices. You get rid of the woman, or you get rid of the guy with the ears. Because everybody had trouble believing that a woman would be a first officer. That was just crazy science fiction. And so he elected to keep Spock, and then he, as a consolation prize for Major Barrett Gordon, who was
The original number 1.
and his wife,
Right.
he wrote her another role, that of Nurse Chapel. And so that's how we have Nurse Chapel.
I mean, I love that piece of trivia. If you guys can step one step forward, because the lights are in your eyes. Now, Rebecca, I know you are a big fan. You've been a big fan of the Star Trek universe. What was it like to wear that costume for the first time?
That was the first pinch me moment. Anson and I mean, everybody who makes our show is a Trekkie. Everyone behind the scenes, we all are Trekkies in our own right. Everyone just pours their heart and souls into this particular series. Anson and I were both introduced to the original series by our mothers around the same age, 7 or 8. And when I went in for my first fitting for my gold uniform was the first time I started to cry. Just tears to my eyes, I just couldn't even believe it. Then the second time was when we first walked onto the set of the bridge of the Enterprise. It was an out-of-body experience. It was really a dreams do come true moment for us, because the set itself of the bridge is almost a 360-degree set with a low ceiling, and you feel like you are in Star Trek. It's such a crazy experience.
Love it. What was it like for you, Anson?
My first experience of it really was when I got to sit in the chair for the first time. Whoop, hello. Hello. When I got technology. When I got to sit in the chair for the first time, I had this immediate flashback to, and I hadn't thought about it in years. I had this immediate flashback to being that age, 7 or 8, and playing Star Trek as my make-believe game with my friends. We would pull the dining room chairs up to the fireplace of my parents' home, and that was our console part of the bridge, and we would argue over who would get to play Kirk and who would get to play Spike. There was never an Uhura because girls wouldn't play with us. and I suddenly realized I'm still doing it. And it was quite an emotional experience for me. And it's still now, every day I'm on set, I look around and I cannot believe I'm on Star Trek.
That's so cool. Now we're gonna watch season 2. What can we expect? What is different from season 1?
Well, bigger and better is all I can say. We were given a lot more freedom by our executives after the first season. Some of the risks that we took in some of the episodes from the first season that the executives weren't so sure about ended up being the episodes that really popped. And so for season 2, they sort of let us go, and so we went. We boldly went, and we hope everybody enjoys it. We're extremely proud of season 2, and go.
The last thing you want to do in a sophomore season of a TV show is just try to deliver the same thing.
We did not deliver the same thing.
No, we did not. Because inevitably you're going to bore people. You're going to bore yourself. So we wanted to keep taking big swings, and our conversations start with genre. What have we not done? What worlds do we want to exist in? And we try to keep the job very exciting for ourselves, and it is, and we are enormously grateful that we can take you along for the ride. And honestly, if I could say one more thing, as you've heard, this job for us is a dream come true, and there's only one reason that we can do this and live out this dream, and that is you.
Yeah.
So thank you.
The fandom is such an incredible part of this. Thank you always for the support.
I think as much as they love hearing you guys talk, they also want to see what we have for them. So, would you like to introduce it?
Graag gedaan. Welkom op jullie boys. Blij om hier te zijn. Thank you all so much for joining us. Hanson?
What she said.
Ja, jongens, ik wil jullie heel erg veel plezier wensen met Star Trek Strange New Worlds seizoen 2. En ik wil nog een heel groot applaus voor deze twee.
Leef lang en mooi!